This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview. Joining us today is Rolf Gerritsen, the CEO of MetalNRG, and Bart Strijhas, the senior geologist working at the company's Goldridge project. So, good morning to you, gentlemen. Rolf, how are you?
Very well, Mark. How are you?
Very good, thank you. And Bart, it's good to be talking to you again. How are you?
Very good today, thank you.
Excellent. Well, before we come on to talk about the Goldridge project, Rolf, I want to get your comment, if I can, on this morning's RNS from the company about summary judgment relating to BritNRG. Is there anything you can say on this latest development?
Yeah, not very much, as you can imagine, Mark. We've applied for summary judgment against two of the three defendants. We're going through the process now, which shouldn't be too lengthy, and we'll have to wait to see the outcome. And I prefer not to comment, and best not to comment and let it go through its legal process. And as I said, we should have an outcome sooner rather than later. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay, excellent. Well, hopefully that gets wrapped up fairly soon then. So let's talk about Goldridge then. There was some news last week with regards geochemical results, but before that, I wonder, Rolf, if you could give us a high-level overview of this project and maybe some details of the historical gold that has been mined from the project in the past.
Look, we have this very interesting project in Arizona, which originally we thought had three historical mines that had produced roughly 22,000 ounces of gold over the years. And we've been working on it in a number of fronts. One is we've been working on site, but we've also been gathering and collecting all of the historical information. And I think there's three key aspects that have come out very, very strongly. And that is one, that we actually have some additional mines that we had previously not been aware of. So, for example, we have a mine called First Chance, which is part of the property that we have. And historically, that seems to have produced somewhere in the region of an ounce per ton of gold. And there's a vein there that is referred to, which is about 11 foot wide. And so, again, interesting findings. And the historical gathering of all the information has been quite eye-opening and has actually enabled us to get a much better picture of the overall property. The second thing is that we have now found in areas that had previously not been tested new gold and silver and copper anomalies. And that is confirming very much what SRK had mentioned to us, that there is a belief that there is a bigger system here. And point two, as I said, it seems to be confirming that there is a larger system. And the third aspect of Goldridge is that we still have some historical waste dumps that, again, they're not going away. But for us to be able to capture the opportunity and to maximize it, we need to look at the full picture. And then once we're able to do that, then we'll have a very clear pathway of moving forward. So the news that Bart has come up with, I'm very excited about, because the geologists are telling me that it's confirming that there is a bigger system and there is possibly a very interesting story to be developed.
Okay, well, hopefully to get more on that story that is developing, Bart, let's talk to you. I know you've got some maps that we can talk about. So the recent RNS provides evidence that the existing Dives, Gold Print and Gold Ridge mines are all connected. And this is something that MNRG has long considered to be true. So could you explain why this geochemical campaign has reinforced that belief?
Yes, as Rolf pointed out, the Goldridge project is a large block of mineral claims that are primarily focused on historic mines within the Apache Pass shear zone. In particularly, on the screen in front of you, you'll see the Gold Prince mine, and that's hosted within the Apache Pass shear zone, which in this figure is highlighted by the green, the blue, and the orange rocks that strike from east to west. This shear zone is believed to be a very deeply rooted structure, which displaces Precambrian, very old Precambrian age rocks in the southern block, shown by the gray and the brown lithologies, against much younger tertiary age volcanic rocks in the northern block, which are highlighted by the pink and the purple colors. We believe that these tertiary age volcanic rocks have likely been the source of the heat and the fluids, which have taken advantage of these older structural conduits formed by the Apache Pass shear zone. And as we now know, there appear to be some minor structures within the Precambrian block as well. So in short, yes, the results of the soil sampling that we're about to go through here have confirmed that all three of these tectonic blocks appear to interplay together in a very large system of mineralization.
Okay. And the RNS also stating that there appears to be further mineralized zones within the Gold Ridge footprint and a structure that runs parallel with the three mines. Can you explain a bit more on this?
Yeah, and you'll see on this next figure, which is the same geological map, but it has now been superimposed with a contour map of the soil geochemical results, where the hottest colors, the pink shows the highest results, red second to the highest, and then the orange is everything that's anomalous. And one of the things that jumps out immediately in the southern Precambrian block in the gray units, you'll notice a strong linear trend of anomalies which parallels the Apache Pass shear zone. I've done reconnaissance work in that particular domain and walked through that area, and we've found strong evidence for veining and mineralization in that area, which is a pretty good indicator that there is potential there for potentially a disseminated type target. Another very exciting result of the work that we've completed is within the Apache Pass shear zone. We have a strong anomaly over the historical mines, which kind of cover the green rocks. And you'll see that anomaly, which trends in from the west towards this blue fault line, has been offset to the north of where the cursor is right now. This is something that has been postulated by previous workers in the district. It hasn't really been mapped, but we believe that the geochemical evidence is providing good reason to investigate this further.
Okay. And the results also suggesting the potential for other commodities present within the footprint. Can you expand on these?
Yes, as well. This view that you're seeing now shows the lead in soils. And again, the first thing that jumps right out at you is that within the Apache Pass shear zone, it shows very strong evidence for the displacement or the offset of the mineralization within the Apache Pass shear zone. And so this is a good reason to get into that particular area and seek out the mineralization that was mined historically right near that fault structure, how it may be displaced to the north. So it gives us a really exciting target as far as drilling on previously mined structures. In addition to that, over in the western part of the diagram, there's a large lead anomaly right there that's focused over the Dives mine, but also extends a full kilometer to the west of the Dives into an area that has yet to have been explored. And we see that anomaly to the west of the Dives, both in the lead that's shown in this particular diagram and in the next slide, where we're going to look at the copper mineralization. We can see there's a large copper anomaly as well associated with that area to the west of Dives. And another thing that we're really excited about with the copper results is up in the volcanic pile. You'll notice we didn't get all the sample work completed, but we're seeing strong evidence for a radial pattern of mineralization emanating from this stock material in the middle of the volcanic pile outward into the surrounding rocks. And this is a very common feature in larger porphyry type deposits. So again, it reconfirms our ideas that we've got more than just a few little gold veins in the shear zone. We've got a bigger system of fluids that are showing wide distribution of both precious and base metal mineralization. So we've got lots to do here going forward.
Excellent. Well, talking about going forward, what are the next stages in the exploration pipeline for Goldridge?
Well, as a geologist, I, of course, want to see the rest of the soil sampling. We had some access issues. This is fairly steep terrain. And in the time that we'd committed for the sampling program, we couldn't quite get everything done. But I think completing the rest of the sampling, both to the west of the Apache Pass shear zone in these green and blue colored rocks, and then also in that northern block within the volcanic rocks, which are showing us these great copper anomalies. Completing that soil sampling work will help us complete the picture of our mineralizing system and provide to us targets that we want to investigate going forward. That further investigation will involve detailed field mapping on site, measuring structural orientations, trying to figure out the controls on mineralization. And then that will ultimately be followed up with on-the-ground trenching, getting down into the bedrock, pulling samples, running analysis, and targeting drill holes. And also, let me point out that in these figures that we're looking at, we're really only looking at the southern 2/3 of the mining claims. We have more claims that are off of this block to the north of the volcanic pile that we haven't even got to investigating yet. So there is plenty of work to do at Gold Ridge going forward.
Excellent. Okay, good to hear. Rolf, if I can just come back to you just to finish off and perhaps ask you what options are available to MNRG from a corporate point of view with regards to the Gold Ridge project.
In terms of options, there are a number of options that are available to us. And I think, looking for a strategic partner to come in and help us with the work, that's probably one of the key aspects that we're looking into quite closely and doing some work on. There's been some interest on that side, and there's a few conversations that are ongoing. As an asset, it's we believe a promising asset, and it'd be nice to see it develop over a period of time. So at the moment, that's where the focus is, and driving it forward and getting the next stage of the exploration work completed.
Okay. Well, Rolf Gerritsen and Bart Strijhas from MetalNRG, thank you both very much for giving us that update.
Thank you very much, Mark.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stopboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.